There we go. I just put that track on just to fill up before the lovely Kate Herbert and Nick Tolhurst, extraordinaire. You are an extraordinaire. Came into the studio to tell us all about things you've been to see. Kate, over to you.
Yeah, I haven't seen a great deal because I've had a bit of holiday time, but I've caught up on a few things, and one of them, Nick was at as well the other night. Tina Turner the musical. Tina Turner the musical. We'll come to that in a tick, though, Nick. That rhymes. What I did see is an on-screen piece called Making It Up, which is here as part of the Fringe digital festival season. A bunch of other things I'm going to see as well in that. Also coming up online is my play Lung again. I'll talk about that at some point, maybe next time. Making It Up is written by and performed by a Canadian playwright who's also been an actor but works as a teacher mostly. So he seems to be sending this around various festivals. What's interesting about it is it deals with, he speaks to camera about his experience of interviewing Herbert, the playwright, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. Edward Albee. But he calls him Albee, so apparently he's called Albee. Yeah, and I went, okay. I always called him Albee.
So what's we do?
He called himself Albee. So this guy Norm Reynolds talks about the interview he did with Edward Albee 30 years ago and the impact it had on him and his subsequent writing career. And it's very interesting. It's only 32 minutes and he talks to camera. It's edited. It's rather nicely put together. And he also plays Albee and himself, interviewing himself, I suppose. But he talks about his life in writing and how his scripts, developed, and then he stopped writing, but he kept coming back to it. And he talks about, it's called Making It Up, One Playwright to Another. And he talks about some scripts taking a lifetime to write, and some things he's written have come back years later. And Albee talked about the fact that don't allow other people to define how you write your play. A play is as long as it needs to be. Mm-hmm. Might be 4 hours or 20 minutes. It has as many characters as it needs. It's about what you want it to be about. And as soon as you start defining your play by what other people want or what you think will sell, it's not going to work. So it's really interesting from a writer's point of view.
Edward Albee, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? Yes, so he wrote some pretty groundbreaking plays.
He certainly did.
And pushed it out there on the stage.
Yeah, the one called The Goat I didn't ever see, but apparently that was really off the wall. That was a later one.
Good for revisiting it. So this is on, and you can see this anytime?
Digital, until the 20th of October. So you
How
can
do you
just
get to it?
Go to the Fringe site for events, just put in Making It Up, and it'll take you to the digital link, and you just book it through there.
Because there's so much on the Fringe. We've had quite a few performers and acts come through on Arts Weekly. It's overwhelming, really. I think it's 240.
Oh, I know. And I just look at it and think I'm going to pick something that I can access. I'm seeing a couple of other digital ones through La Mama on screen. One I was to see over this weekend called Disorder, with odd spelling, DYS, etc. And After Rebecca, which is based on the Daphne du Maurier Rebecca, which I'll see next week. But let's get on to Tina.
Tina, what a buzz. We went to opening night on Thursday.
We did. Wasn't that a lively little thing?
Oh, yeah, all the same old crowds turning up,
clapping like
themselves.
seals, and people in their sequins.
It was a very exciting show.
It was. And isn't Ruva Ngwenya, I think I've got her pronunciation. I looked up the pronunciation to listen to it. Ruva Ngwenya, who went to Kew High School. I was delighted when I read that today. She is spectacular. It is really worth seeing just to see her. And she embodies the character and she sings her pants off. The stage, she just lights up that room.
Not that she wears much in the way of pants. But
Not that she wears a lot of pants.
But she really moves it too.
She does. And after nearly a year doing that, I would expect there a little bit of the gloss to wear off the performance, and it doesn't at all. But she's not just an impersonation of Tina. She is her own thing, but she is exhilarating and remarkable, and the voice is extraordinary, particularly when you see her travelling from that early part of the story where she's singing gospel songs and other kinds of music. And then we see her develop into what we know is Tina, where you hear all of that voice from a soul singer, gospel singer, into that rock and roll mad-haired star icon.
Mad Max star.
What a comeback.
It is. And I was reflecting as I was going through, thinking I've always liked Tina Turner, and she's been around for as long as we've all been around. So I think everyone's been touched by her. So it's not the sort of thing, I don't like Tina Turner. You'd be surprised how much it actually resonates with your whole life, really.
Yes, and you may not even realise that the song you're singing in the shower is a Tina Turner number, because some of them I thought, I'd forgotten that was Tina.
Yeah.
Not written by her, apart from Nutbush. But what I was noticing, and had to scour the net to find all the writers of the songs, because they're not credited in the song
Program's
list.
a bit of a letdown. I
Bit
didn't
of a
get
letdown.
one.
Yeah, and also it's a big fat program, but not even the entire band is credited because they're
and you were saying that the kids who are amazing in this
are not
show,
credited in the program. Maybe because they had to cast the Melbourne ones when they got here. But it was Zoe Desmier, who was the little anime Bullock, which is Tina's childhood name.
Kid, she was fantastic.
Oh, she's extraudriary voice.
And
She
appears
was about
again at
11.
the end as well. Yeah.
Big number there, big voice. She, what I wanted to talk about in a number of things. Ruva Nguyen, fantastic. Other cast, wonderful. I always find a problem with biographies as theatre. A biography, a life doesn't have a natural dramatic arc. The shape of a dramatic piece has sort of peaks and troughs, but it hits a pitch and then drops away. But a life does ups and downs and flat lines, and then pokes up into a little pitch, and it might fade out at the end. So you need to find a dramatic structure. The best of this is a jukebox musical, lots of songs that are already written. They're not written for this show, not original pieces for music theatre. They are songs that were hits, some not as big hits as others. I didn't recognise some of them.
I think there were a couple of songs which were written for the show, I'm guessing, because they sound like very modern Broadway fare. And I thought, okay,
I went through the list, I might have missed that. But I think, and it's also a biography, so it's a biographical jukebox musical. And Jersey Boys, I think, has been the best of that. It changed the whole mode of doing this. My little quibble with this show is that there's a lot of the early life of Tina Anime Bullock and her evolution into the Tina who becomes the icon Tina Turner person, and then the has-been, and then the megastar. It just feels a little bit stop-start at the beginning.
It was ticking the boxes to get through stuff. It was ticking the boxes,
yeah. And I think there's too much life to jam in there.
Yeah.
And I think because she's an executive or whatever producer, she probably wanted her life in there.
There are different ways you can go about it, aren't there? I'm going to wind up, I guess. But you can take the spirit of a character or a person and move it around. Yeah. But yeah, look, I thought, some of this is a bit clunky, some of the acting in between, and that's not their fault in the script.
No.
But look, it was just so magical.
And electrifying. And so, the Ike, Giovanni James, who was terrific as Ike Turner, who was just awful. You hope there's some light and shade to him. But
they had to bring him back at the end and make him look good as an actor, because I think if he was going to go home feeling hated.
Yes, exactly. Yes. But, you want to be the villain. Someone has to be the villain. The child was fabulous. The sister, Alina, the road manager, Rhonda, the character, just terrific performances and voices, some really lovely voices there. So I think
go and
see
it. It's really good fun, yes. Now, I just want to put in a pitch. I'm going off to sing in the Ensemble Gombert concert at 3:00 at St Andrew's Church in Brighton.
Boomer.
I will be there, so pop along. There's be some gorgeous music from Josquin des Prés to Benjamin Britten and more.
Oh, wow. That sounds really... And then you'll pop over to the pantry for a latte.
Well, no. I've got to race home again, thank you. So I get out of Brighton when I can. Thank you, Brighton. Love you.
Yes, you are listening